is the North End. This is the North End.
Welcome back to the North End YouTube channel. This is Dave, and this is 5 things we learned in Arsenal's 3-2 win over Manchester United at the Emirates yesterday. Coming in at number 1, different team without Casemiro. Manchester United purchased Casemiro in the summer in what some would call a panic buy. He's too old, you overspent. Casemiro is Manchester United's most important player. He's the best defensive midfielder in the Premier League, and some might think this next statement is bold, and maybe it is. He's still the best defensive midfielder in the world, and he doesn't seem to be having any injury issues. He is 30, so he's on the back 9, but it's not like he's 33, 34, or like 37. Like he can still at the end of his prime. So yesterday in the game, and I don't want this to be a bashing Scott McTominay session, but we got to be honest. Scott McTominay played in that role. Scott McTominay was horrific yesterday. Scott McTominay cannot play the level of football that is required when he's in possession. Off the ball, he had no idea where he was going. He sometimes dropped into the back 4 and made a couple of decent plays, but our midfield did not look like we were in sync at all. There looked like no control. And Casemiro just doesn't bring ability. He brings a leadership and a calmness to the team and an organization that nobody else is capable of doing. And we just did not look the same yesterday. And that's no discredit to Arsenal. Arsenal were phenomenal, and they have a very strong midfield. But would it have been a different game with Casemiro starting? I think absolutely. Coming in at number 2, Wout, there it is. Wout Weghorst. I'm still wrapping my head around this one, but I think I'm starting to understand why Erik ten Hag wanted him and wants him and why he's playing. The runs that he makes off the ball and the pressing ability that he brings, he's not necessarily there for goals. It's not to say he can't score goals. I do find him slow and clunky, which is my concern. But if you watch him on the Rashford goal, and I think this is the 2nd or 3rd time he's done this for a United goal, he makes the runs to draw defenders in and out of play, which is what you want from an intelligent number 9 who understands the game, someone who makes the run, someone who drags players out, someone who can hold the ball up. And his hold-up play was excellent for somebody of his height. Now, again, when we're on the break, does he have the speed? No, he's super slow, which I do think is a problem, but he's playing like a proper number 9. You've never seen that from Anthony Martial. Anthony Martial wants the ball all the time. Really happy with Wout. He really brings us a different option which frees up Marcus, should free up Anthony or whoever else is on the right wing, but we'll get to that in a little bit. But Wout does a job, and he does it well, and he does it effectively. And so far, you can completely understand the signing. Similar to the rest of Erik ten Hag has been our director of football, and if you're giving him a grade, it's an A+, 10 out of 10 with the guys he's brought in, and you understand why once they start playing. Coming in at number 3, Marcus cannot do it alone. Marcus Rashford has been on fire, and his goal yesterday was arguably his best goal of the season, and he looked like our only threat yesterday, and that's a huge problem. I think Anthony put in an effort. The end product just doesn't seem to be there. He looked up for it yesterday, but we need more than up for it. Marcus, and even near the end of the game, there was moments, whether it be Bruno or Fred, where it's like, just get the ball to Marcus. And we didn't. Like, that really should have been our attacking plan. I mean, we got the ball to him on a few occasions. Wasn't enough. But right now, he's our only attacking threat. This is probably the right time, and this will be the time in the 5 things. The only major threat we have outside of Marcus is Garnacho, and he came on too late. And I know he's young, but I think we really should have seen him earlier. But again, could that have been something to do with sustaining Arsenal's pressure? Maybe. But Marcus can't do it alone, and he needs help. And that's a whole other conversation with the offense right now. Coming in at number 4, squad depth. This will be a two-parter. This will be squad depth / Bruno. I mean, it's all kind of jumbled up, but you talk about squad depth. Bruno seems to start every game. Bruno was nowhere near good enough yesterday. In my opinion, and this might be a rare opinion, Bruno hasn't been good enough. Like, I think Bruno thinks his job is to be a number 10 and to be a part of the offense, and it is his job. But we need him to do so much more than that. The way this team is being constructed and the way this team is being built is you need to do a bit of everything. Bruno was nowhere near good enough. The midfield looked tired yesterday. Eriksson, you could tell. Eriksson's football IQ is through the roof. At times, he was being overrun yesterday. We've already talked about Scott. I don't want to beat him down. He was a nightmare. Who was the option near the end? Fred? We brought on Fred to help out Luke Shaw, to control Saka and to control that right side dominance that was there all game. And you saw from the left as well with Wan-Bissaka and the mistakes. And again, I could pile on, but I don't want to pile on. United played pretty well yesterday, and I think the story should be that Arsenal played very well. They're ahead of us, and we just didn't have enough to cope. But that's okay, but we'll get to that. But the squad depth is still lacking, but that's okay. It used to be a big uproar and a big freakout. Look at the players we've brought in. They've been phenomenal. And we'll get to that in a minute, but we're not quite there with squad depth, and I think that needs to be called out. Having said that, coming in at number 5, we're 6 months into this. Arsenal are, what, 2 years into this? And you can tell they were better than us yesterday. They were more organized than us yesterday. They understood each other more yesterday, and that's fine. But we did go toe-to-toe with them, sure. The last 20 minutes, you could tell. They were all over us. We were out of gas. We were still uncertain of what to do, where to go. But you know what? We've been here before this season, and we've bounced back. And the manager we have is the guy to get us on the right track. We will learn from yesterday, but we are 6 months into this. We've brought in fantastic players, and in the summer, we will get players out that don't fit this project, and there is a lot of them, more to come on that, and we will bring more players in like we have done that will fit this project. So if you're a United fan, like myself, yesterday sucked, but it was different. You said, you know what? Sure, we lost, and we lost to Arsenal, who are having a phenomenal season. They're 2 years ahead of us. There's still a lot of good that happened yesterday, and we are on the right track. Be happy about that. Be happy that we have a manager that has gotten us there and that will continue to get us there. It's okay. We're at the beginning. They're at least halfway through or almost near to the end of where they're trying to be. They're in a title race. We are not. Let's be clear. I think everyone started thinking about it last week. This was the wake-up call, and that's okay. We are firmly in a top 4 race, and I feel great about top 4. But we're 6 months in, and for 6 months in, we're on the right track. This was maybe what you would call a wake-up call, but yet another opportunity to learn where we're not at and get better. I've been Dave. This is 5 things from Arsenal 3-2 win over Manchester United at the Emirates. I'm going to get yelled at by Paul because I didn't say please hit the like button. Please like and subscribe. I should have told you at the beginning of the video. That is my fault. I will do that moving forward. Just very passionate about this team and this video. What did you think? I want to hear from you. What did you think about yesterday's game? What did you think about United, where they're at? What did you think about where Arsenal are at? Let us know. We want to talk about it. Thank you once again, Dave from the North End. I'll see you in the next one.
This is the North End. This is the North End.